Hey guys, what is up? Just got done a live stream watching the Sixers lose to the Boston Celtics in Summer League 100-80. Oh my god, that was so bad. We missed Tyrese Maxey so much. But my guest is Matt Rogers. Introduce yourself, my guy.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Matt. I live in Arlington, Virginia. I'm a Philly lifer. I grew up in Philadelphia. My dad taking me to the vet when it was still shaking. I go to Eagles games pretty often in the city, even though I live in Arlington. It's a couple hours back. I was at the preseason game the other day. I live and breathe this stuff. Is pretty amazing. It's a good hobby, good way to unplug from my day stuff, which is I work in politics here in Virginia. But really happy to be here with you, Mitch. Thanks.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Let's just get right into it. So you said you were at the preseason game. So
Yeah.
Tell me the vibe, tell me how you were feeling and all that stuff.
It was very cool. It was emotional in a good way. Like I didn't cry or anything, but
Right.
It felt amazing to be back into the stadium and hear, Warren Eagles first down. And seeing guys actually tackle folks to the ground. I think we'll get into more of the particulars of how people played, but I do really feel like they took charge of the game early, and that was really important to kind of get this whole regime started off. Even though it doesn't count, it still counts in the players' mind and in the minds of the fans. So it was exciting.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we did not win that game, and the second half was just brutal. But let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Now, he threw like 3 for 7. He missed Watkins on that beautiful drive, on that beautiful pass. So, How do you feel like he played in that first game? What's up, Braden? What's up, man?
I think I was impressed with how Jalen played. I think Ertz let him down on a drop. You got to count that. So it doesn't really count. But seriously, that's 4 out of 7. And then Rager drops a deep out. Rager on either a deep out or a comeback, and Rager dropped that. So 5 of 7. You also have the running that Jalen was able to do. I was impressed, and I think when he checked to that middle out to Goddard, that was impressive. That was the throw of the night for me. I think the one where he missed to Watkins deep, I'm glad that they're even calling that, because so often the Doug Peterson Eagles never took that shot there. Never. Maybe that was Carson not wanting to do that, but it was always check down in that situation. It was exciting to even see us try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, people are talking about Joe Flacco should be the number 1 quarterback, and I'm like,
oh no,
how can you talk about that now? It's like that's his 5th game total. That's his 5th game, and I'm like, oh my god, Joe Flacco played well. He really did. Nick Mullins stuck up the joint, and I'm just like, dude, you can't stop knocking on this guy. Like, seriously, stop. What quarterback can do a 620-pound deadlift?
Right.
Like, come on. He has too much muscle on him now. That's why he overthrew. But
Joe playing against the twos. He's not playing. He's not playing against a first string defensive line. I mean, I think everybody who's watched football for the last decade knows exactly who Joe Flacco is. Even at his peak, I think honestly, I think Nick, who's a third string quarterback in Chicago, is a better quarterback than Joe. So why would we tap out Jalen, who has potential to be real, maybe a above average starting NFL quarterback, for Joe Flacco, who we know exactly who he is?
Yeah. And people are talking about how before this preseason even started, to have Nick Mullins be number 2. And I'm like, guys, come on now. Now look what happened. People are like, Mitch, you're right. You're right. I'm like, of course I'm right. I know football. And experience over youth. That's how I see it. But Yeah, let's just go to Watkins, man. He's just really like skyrocketing. Like during training camp, he was going through like jumping hurdles and everything. Now he's going to be the second wide receiver. It looks like to Devonta Smith. Your thoughts?
You heard that? Is that what?
No, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that like around.
Okay.
That he looks like he'll be the number 2. It's not certain yet.
Yeah, I would like that. I think Jalen Rager's talent is more suited for playing a slot role, and then letting Greg Ward come in and they spell each other. We get a quicker. We need Rager to. When he made that nice catch over Slay, you might have seen Darius Slay tweeted it out and was like, "Put my guys a spectacular catch at 99 now." So we need to see if he's got the hands, he'd be an excellent slot receiver. And Quez Watkins, I mean, yeah, move over Travis Fulgham. That's a guy who's having a rough go of it this training camp.
Yeah. It's actually funny because he was my breakout of the year, Travis Fulgham, because he played well those 4 games. And Doug Peterson slowly took him out of the rotation. And now this is his time to sign. But Watkins is taking that sign right from him. Yeah. So I'm like, Fulgham can't catch a break, man. Fulgham can't catch a break.
No, okay. But I think I'm excited about how they look because I would say they have 4 legitimate receiving options as it stands now. You got Devonta, you got Quez, you got Ertz, and you got Goddard. Other guys could be good. But 4 legitimate options for Jalen to go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now for the tight ends with Goddard and Ertz, I mean, for the longest time with Ertz, not wanting to be there, his negativity or something, I wanted him gone. Like, I wanted him gone. I was like, I'd trade him for like iced tea or something because it's like negativity is something we don't need now with this roster. Like, we don't need it. So,
what have you done to be negative?
He said in the beginning like he didn't want to be there and just negative vibes in general. I don't know if he said anything, but I'm like, negative is so contagious. So let's say he accidentally slipped something, right? Accidentally he slipped something, then another player could be like, you know what? I agree with that. And then so on and so forth. So maybe it's not negative.
I got more sympathy for Zach than that. I mean, I think everybody forgets that. Let's rewind back to the 2019 season, week 16. We're playing basically a playoff game in Philly against the Cowboys. In that game, he gets a lacerated kidney and a punctured lung, and he came out and played 2 weeks later against the Seahawks. That year, he had 80 catches. Last year, Carson played really, really bad. I mean, that's Zach Ertz's friend. He'll never say it, but I think he was definitely weighed down by the horrific play and the fact that Zach Ertz was the only legitimate receiving option for the Philadelphia Eagles last year. And so defense is real. You're playing with a bad quarterback, and you're the only receiving option. He's not a speed guy. He's always been a hands guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had good reason to be frustrated last year. I mean, we sucked 4-11-1. I mean, it was frustrating.
Yeah, it was. It was frustrating. But the point with myself is that we don't need this negativity. And with the cap room, that's another big reason for me because we needed that. We have no money in the cap right now. Like, we have nothing. So if we trade Ertz, we could free up that $8.5 million and get like something good. But now we got Steven Nelson for like $4.1 million, a little bit above $4 million. And I'm like, okay, it looks like, and they reconstructed Barnett's contract, Lane Johnson's contract. Yeah. So it looks like they're in for Zach Ertz with the long haul. So for me,
$13 million in cap. Last I checked,
it was 14
structures.
Yeah. I don't know, but we just don't have enough money in cap. So compared to next year, we're gonna have 40 or 50 mil, and we're gonna have picks up the wazoo. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna reconstruct everybody. Zach Ertz is giving his chance right now. and let him see what he can do. In the first preseason, he did that. He had a nice catch, and Goddard had a nice catch. But who do you think Ertz will be the first tight end or the second?
I think he has to be number 2.
He has
I
to.
think he's still the better tight end receiving option, but I think you gotta start the transition to Goddard, unless what you're going to do is trade Goddard, which I don't think that's what they're going to do. So they gotta put him Goddard at 1, but I think Ertz needs to be on the field. As much as we don't want to see 12 personnel, I mean, we're all sick and tired of hearing the saying 12 personnel. I think it just gives us at this moment puts our best threats on the field.
Yeah, I mean, Goddard's on his contract year, so he's gonna have a monster year. Zach Ertz is on his contract year as well, so he's gonna be good. But do you think Zach Ertz will be like, okay, Goddard, you take it, or will his ego get in the way of that? You think?
I think Nick Sirianni's the coach. That's why they brought Sirianni in, because it was the end of an era, and they needed a fresh start. And I think a new coach is in a good position to tell guys, hey, love you. I wanted to keep you here. I'm the one working, Zach, to keep you here in town. But you're going to have to take a step back. And if he's willing to, and he has a decent season, let's say Ertz has a season where he catches 45 balls, and he's willing to accept that, he's not, in that Travis Kelce range, he'll take a contract for next year in the range of, $4 million. Then maybe he can just retire as an Eagle, because the market obviously is not valuing Zach at this point where he thinks he is, or what the Eagles think he is. And so that's why he's still here, is because nobody was willing to give us a 3rd round pick for him.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would have taken it back then with all that drama going down. I was like, we need to get this guy out with the negativity for me. And I was like, I'll take anything at this point. But if Zach Ertz proves me wrong and he has a kick-ass year, I'm like, great, dude. Stay. I love you. Because people were telling me who went at the game that he had a standing ovation. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. It was again, kind of semi-emotional when he came out. You could tell that he loved being there. He still, and you could see it in that last press conference when he did that press conference and he was crying. I mean, the guy was part of something special. He's one of like 5 players on the roster from the Super Bowl season, and he's not that old. I think this is his 9th season.
I think so. I think he's around there, 9, 10.
So if he's willing to accept that Goddard is the next phase, and if he could be what Selleck was for him, then this could work well. I think then he stays on the roster, and he's still a top 10 tight end in the league. Even he played horrendously last year with a bad quarterback, or a quarterback who didn't play well. So, what are your fans telling you, Mitch? What's the consensus on the street?
I mean, I haven't really left the house because of COVID, so I haven't really talked to many people. But people love Ertz. They do. A lot of people do. But for me, I was considering like the contracts. I was looking beyond that. So maybe I have to take a second look at Zach Ertz and be like, okay, what you've done is great. Let's see what you can do more in that. So I just got to see what he's doing now and like how he's performing. Yeah, I mean, there's this other tight end, I forget his name, who's balling out as well.
Oh, Tyree Jackson.
Jackson, yes. He's been balling out, I've been hearing. So he could possibly be the 3rd tight end, Richard Rodgers 4. I'll be happy with that. I'll be fine.
NJ.com came out with a sneak peek at what they think is the depth chart, and they have us only keeping 3 tight ends. I guess they have us cutting Richard Rodgers as it stands.
Oh wow, that's
a mistake. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, so do I. I really do. Because he was on the team before, right? He was on the Eagles before, Rodgers?
Yeah.
So I feel like we should keep him. And I was saying before he would have been a good tight end too if Zach Ertz was gone. Like got it one, Rodgers too. I could still see it. But if Jackson's hot right now, what's up? What's up, man? But if he's hot right now, I'm like, gotta ride with the high hand. I mean, just like in basketball, if Joel Embiid is hot, give him the rock and not like number 25 who can't shoot for anything. But I'm just saying, like, dude, give it to the high hand. I don't know, man. It's gonna be fun to see. And yeah. So I just wanted to talk about Devonta Smith. Now he might be available for next week. So that's what I've been hearing, but I would not play him, honestly. I would just let him sit out, wait for the first game of the season against Atlanta. What do you think? What would you do?
I agree with you 100%. I think that's the right call. It'd be nice to watch him catch his first pass. He's going to catch passes in the NFL. If he's on the field, he's going to catch passes. We're going to get to see that. There's nothing to be gained from him being out there.
Yeah. So I had the Eagles beat writer Chris Franklin on last week, and we were just talking about Devonta Smith and his like player build or like his body and everything. Yes. And I was asking him, are you afraid if he gets injured or banged up? He's like, if he played from Alabama in that conference, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he is fine. I completely agree with that. And people are like, Mitch, he's going to get squashed. I'm like, Deshaun Jackson was smaller, faster. He didn't get squashed. Sure, he had a big injury, but that's the game of football.
Yeah.
That comes with it.
And so, Jackson had to play in a different, like, it was even for Deshaun Jackson, even though it's in recent memory, Deshaun Jackson, when he first came out, was playing in a different NFL. This is like, you could still, coming over the middle, you could still get your clock cleaned back when Deshaun Jackson first got to Philly. This is not that NFL. They protect the receivers now. So these small, wiry guys are more likely actually to get the benefit of the doubt on these pass interference calls or defenseless receiver. So it actually puts these defensive backs in an awkward position because they know that they could hit them, but then if they do hit them early or whatever, they're going to be able to sell it. It's just it's not as big a concern as folks wanted to make it out to be. I just don't believe that.
I agree. I was watching this kid like rant all about it. I gotta send you this video when we're done. I'll DM it to you. This kid just like it's just all it was. He was reacting to the draft, right, and how we traded up with Devonta Smith for Devonta Smith. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he was just like, he's gonna be a bust. And I just made a video reacting to that. I was laughing hysterically, like this kid doesn't know anything. But I gotta tell you that when we're done.
Please.
But yeah. And just let the guy play football, man. That's all I'm asking. We traded up with the Cowboys. We made a trade and screwed over the Giants. So we made like a historic move to get arguably one of the best wide receivers in the draft.
Yeah.
With him and Justin Jefferson. And I'm like, hey, we needed a wide receiver. We lacked that last year. Now we got the best one. So I'm like, just let him play football. That's all I got to say. And yeah, and actually this came out today that Jason Peters signed with the Bears.
All due respect to Mr. Peters, but it's about time.
He needs a. How old is he? Do you know?
39.
Oh my God! I'm like, what the hell? Retire already. I was gonna make a video about this, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, there's no point. This guy just. You know what's funny though? He went into the same team as Nick Foles.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of funny.
And he's going to be protecting Nick Foles on the second team or third team because he was getting whooped. I mean, it wasn't just the injuries last year for Peters. Peters played badly, even in practice. Is what the reporters were saying. Is he's getting whooped in practice, and so at 39 years old, that is not. He's already a legend. He's already won his Super Bowl. he just keeps coming back like the last 3 seasons just to prove something. And Doug was all too willing to help him do it to the point where they moved him to guard. And then now he's going back to the Bears to play tackle. You got to be kidding me.
You know what's funny too? Doug Peterson went there twice.
Mm-hmm.
He went there. He went to the Colts. I'm like, what's with all these Eagles players still trying to get jobs or coaches? I mean, like, you're done. I mean, did Doug Peterson deserve a job, do you think?
He'll get a job. He'll be back in the league, yeah. But I think I'm happy that he got fired for I think that's the wrong way to say it. I think he deserved to be fired for how the season ended. To forfeit a game to a division rival who's in a playoff battle, you gotta let the chips fall where they're gonna fall. You cannot forfeit a game and send Washington to the playoffs. That was unforgivable.
It was, and I forget, was he let go right after that game, or was it? I think it was a week later.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. I mean, you got us to. Was it really him that got us the Super Bowl, or was it Frank Wright that got us the Super Bowl?
I think you can't take the. It's not either or. I think it was a team effort. But at the end of the day, he got so wedded to his tactics, like with Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly had a time where he was ahead of the curve, and then these guys start thinking that they are the reason why these engines are going. And really, it's largely the players. You got to put your players in position. They were bringing guys back that just out of allegiance to give them another chance, guys that were over the hill, who like Sproulsy. I mean, he made amazing plays, but they kept him on too long. There were other guys like that, you know, Doug was so wedded to his way of doing things. I mean, even he would go for it on 4th down when it was completely unnecessary. I mean, in the first quarter. So I think his time has passed, but in 5 years, he'll come back to Philly and they'll have a Doug Peterson bobblehead night and everybody will have their visors on and everybody will be happy. It's a breakup. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, I have a book signed by him because that's kind of funny. The guy who was fixing my kitchen, his wife is good friends with Doug Peterson's wife. Mm. So I have his book. Like, should I keep that? Sell that?
Yeah. Keep it.
I'm not
really. You're a Birds fan, man. He's, Andy. We love Andy. Andy can come to Philly. He doesn't have to pay for anything.
Yeah. He doesn't have to buy a cheeseburger. But yeah, now let's go to the offensive line this year. This offensive line, I love it, man. I love the competition between Mailata and Dillard, even though Dillard's kind of fallen off a little bit.
A bit, yes.
A lot of it, yeah. Do you think he will be traded or cut?
He will not be cut. But could he be traded? I hope for it. He will not start. Those are the answer.
Yeah, he's injured, so injury prone. He just got injured again last week, I think. Right?
He's not good.
It's just so funny. He was a first-round pick, and now he's definitely a bust. He's definitely a bust. It's the same thing with White.
Nelson Aguilar was a first-round pick.
Yeah, but look what he turned out to be now. Like, he's a decent wide receiver. He's playing for Patriots. Like, he turned out to be a decent wide receiver. Dillard is like, what do you have to sell for? Like, Mailata was a 7th-round pick. He played rugby, for crying out loud, and now he's taking your spot.
It just goes like that. I mean, Greg Ward played quarterback, and he basically took Nelson Aguilar's job. It's just it goes like that sometimes. I think folks sometimes you need to change the scenery. And I think maybe Andre Dillard in 10 years will look back like, oh, man, maybe we should have kept him. But the way it's looking right now, he looks bad. I'm hearing from Brandon Brooks or Barrett Brooks, the guy on NBC.
Yep.
He's getting just bowled over in practice. People are just embarrassing him, and he's pulling himself out and being soft. And so
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But
I wish the best for him, but maybe he's not here. Maybe it's not.
Yeah. If we can get something for him, I would be thrilled. I mean, we've got a ton of picks, and if we can get Dillard, we get a third for Dillard realistically, or fourth, maybe we need to do it and build up that draft capital and really try to make a run for next year.
Yeah. You know what? I was going to ask you this at the end, but since you brought up next year for this season coming up, I'm guessing that's what you meant. What's the record you have for us this year?
This year, I think we go 9-8. 10.
I had that. I had the exact record.
Mm-hmm. I think division with 9-8, but it's going to be a slugfest.
It is. And what I love about this season so much coming up is like it's so unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen. So hopefully it's going to be good. And just got to wait out there and see, because we haven't seen football in like so long. It feels like the longest it's ever been, in my opinion. And now it's just like, dude, it's just like football's here, man. Eagles are ready to play. We're coming back off the worst season, one of the worst seasons in NFL or Eagles history. And now we just like got to go out with it. So you have the Eagles in first place, right? First?
Yeah.
So who do you have second, third, and fourth?
I think on paper, in terms of like Madden rating, I think the Washington football team is the best team in the division. But I think having to play that first place schedule is going to really bite them. When you look at what they've got to just in the run up to Halloween, they could play okay and be 2-5 and in a hole where they can't really come back. So I think Washington is the second team. I think the Cowboys are the third, and the Giants bring it up the rear.
All right. So I brought up the Eagles schedule right here. So which games do you have us like winning 100%? What games do you have winning?
I'm on your show, so I'm gonna play by your rules. I really don't like doing this, but
you don't? I'll take it off.
No. I think let's look at it. Atlanta, I think we got a great shot that Sunday to start off the season with the win. I think San Francisco is a pretty tough game. I think we probably I think they probably get after us, Nick Bosa and those guys. 1-1. Cowboys, we win. 2-1. Chiefs, 2-2. Panthers, I'm sorry. 3-2. Bucks, 3-3. Raiders, 4-3. Lions, 5-3. Chargers, 5-4. Broncos, 6-4. Saints, 8-4. Wow. Okay. So I think we'll be in a decent place. It's just it'll come down to what we do. I love the way the season ends. 4 straight division games, 2 of them at home. It's exciting stuff.
It really is. I mean, I've seen like NFL writers, ESPN give us 3 wins. I mean, we just went through the schedule together, and we both have 9 wins. Yeah. So I'm like, what's with the media against the Eagles, dude? It's just like bothering me at this point.
Well, it's a star-driven league, and we don't have many proven stars whatsoever on the Eagles. I think you start out the year really, one kind of lock Pro Bowl guy in Lane Johnson, but other than that, who else would you say to start off the year like they're going to the Pro Bowl?
Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey. That's 3. I'm going Devonta Smith. That's 4.
But he's not a lock. We haven't seen it yet, right?
Okay. Would you go with Miles Sanders, or you haven't seen anything yet?
No, I wouldn't say. Would I be shocked if he went to the Pro Bowl this year? No, but I don't expect it. I expect Lane to get there, and really Kelsey too. You're right, Kelsey. But Fletcher, the reputation around the league is that he's still a good player, but he's not in that like game wrecker conversation in league circles anymore, like he used to be. So,
right. I mean, hey, in my opinion, he's the best defensive player we got. In my opinion,
or Josh Sweat.
Josh Sweat is really balling out this year. But it's Fletcher Cox, man. I can't I've seen too much of him. I've seen him dominate.
I want to see Fletcher dominate. I think that having more bodies this year, he won't have to play so many snaps. He'll be fresher. He'll be more tuned in. Last year, I don't think he made the Pro Bowl.
Did he?
I don't think he did.
I'll look it up.
Let's see.
I'm actually curious. I'll look it up right now. I can't type right now.
Okay, so they did make it. It was Cox, Graham, Kelsey, and Kelsey last year. So Lane didn't even make it.
Okay. I mean, Graham, that should be another lock then, right? You think?
We'll see. Guys who are getting longer in the tooth in terms of how long they've been in the league. I love Brandon Graham. That's another guy that I love, but this is an important season for a lot of people, and that's why I'm excited. I think 9-7 or 9-8, 10-7 is very likely, and I think we're going to surprise people. I think there's going to be a very Philly-esque team that's going to get this city really excited week to week. Yeah.
So Chris Franklin, the beat writer who I had on, he had the Eagles going 7-10.
Okay.
And that's because we haven't seen anything yet.
Yep.
And there's too many question marks. But he thinks that next year will be the big jump. Not this coming season, but the next. That will be the biggest jump.
I see that. There are a lot of question marks. So it very much could happen that it's a 7-10 season. But there's also a lot of opportunity for us to maybe get into the divisional round, maybe.
Okay.
Not going to the title. No conference title this year.
Yeah. It's funny, too. We have three teams from each conference can make the wild card.
Yep. I love it.
So do I. I think that's very good for the more competition for the game.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm here for it. I just can't wait because I'm doing fantasy. I'm doing a fantasy league with some of the other Eagles content creators. Bird Gang's in it, and I'm just so excited, dude. I'm like, since I've been like covering football and basketball for like this past year, I'm excited more than ever.
Yeah.
Like, once you dissect the game and really do your research and put your time to it, it makes it feel like, man, I can't wait for this season, bro. I'm doing all this, and I'm like, where are we at? Just come on now. I mean, tell us about your podcast. I mean, you got to be excited for your NFL, all these seasons with your podcast, right?
Absolutely. Hold on. My dog wants to get in. We're talking to birds. So my podcast is called Honorable Mention. It's with my buddy Steve Kerr, not the superstar Steve Kerr, but my buddy from high school. He played Division III basketball, coached as well. His team went to won the national championship. And we talk about just the topics of the week. What's going on with Russell Westbrook coming to the Lakers? What's going on with Melo now on the Lakers? Should Eli Manning be in the Hall of Fame? No.
I said yes, but we'll get into that another time.
So basically, long story short on that, what I say on that is, obviously you say he's got two rings and that kind of stamps you in. But if you let Eli Manning in, then that opens the door to so many people. It makes it dangerous. Then everybody gets in. Then McNabb's a lot. Then Romo's needs to get in. And Eli had so many seasons where he was like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, as opposed to he was never a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
So
I guess I'm just thinking about the Super Bowls right now, but I got to do more research on that, and I'll come back. I'll DM you, be like, maybe you're right.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm always down to do that stuff. So yeah, my friend brought up a good point. If Eli Manning gets in, Phillip Rivers has to get in, and he's like, what has Phillip Rivers done?
A lot of guys. I mean, if you let Eli in because he's got 1 Super Bowl, how about or 2 Super Bowls? How about Nick with 1, but he's got the NFL record for touchdowns in a game. He's got a 27-2 season where he threw 27 touchdowns and only 2 picks. You start getting into really silly conversations because Nick Foles is not a Hall of Fame quarterback, but neither is Eli Manning, and that's what people will say.
Right. I think it's just because with his last name, with his father getting in, now Payne getting in, it's like, you know what? We need to throw the third one in there.
No, door closed.
All right, let's get back to the Eagles. And how do you feel about Steven Nelson pairing with Darius Slay?
I love it. I think it's been a while since we've had 2 legitimate corners. Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepherd. Troy
my God.
It's been too long since we had 2. Now I'm not going to say Steve Nelson, like he likes to be called, is a Pro Bowl player, but we just need him to be good because Darius Slay is very good. I don't want to say he's a shutdown corner. I don't think he's a shutdown corner, but he's a good corner. I mean, really, the top receivers in the league these days, you're not shutting them down. The Julio Jones, the Antonio Brown. These guys you're going to hold them to a reasonable statistical line. And that's what Darius Slay does a good job of. And I think that the defensive line is going to be much better this year. And we're going to be putting some quarterbacks on the ground this year.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And you forgot about Troy Vincent. I think he was the best cornerback of them all.
Yes, he was. How can you forget?
I mean, that secondary, we had Troy Vincent, Sheldon Brown, Brian Dawkins, Quentin Michael. That was the best secondary in that NFL. That was when I was growing up. I'm 26, about to be 27.
Yes. That's the same era I grew up through, too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We had the best defense that year. And with Andy Reid leading us to 4 straight NFC championship games, those were the times to be an Eagle fan. Those were the times.
Trotter at linebacker, Javon Curse, Hugh Douglas.
Takeo Spikes,
Takeo Spikes. We had Sean Witherspoon. Was that?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember him.
ND Kalu. Who's that? Trent Cole.
Trent Cole.
I can go on and on.
Yeah.
I forget. I was in elementary school, and I had to write a paper on like a certain person or whatever, and I did Jeremiah Trotter. I did like these 2 pages on how he was good for our team this year. Then he went to the Washington football team, and I'm like, I got an A. My guy was the teacher was an Eagles fan, so I'm like, hey. I'm like, it's just like. The time. So, do you see the defense now being like that? Not this season, but in the future. Can you see that defense getting back up there?
I think yes. I in the future, not this season, but our draft capital is at a. I really, for other reasons, I don't want us to get Deshaun because I want us to use those picks to build the team for the future. We've been so cap strung for so long and haven't built it. Like even that Super Bowl team was largely built on Howie Roseman hitting on a bunch of free agents. I want to see us build the team right from the ground up. Have guys on contracts for 3 or 4 years. Eagles green from the beginning. So I think we should go defense heavy. I think that's what this city wants. I think that's like when we have the most fun watching, when we can come in here and make life miserable. That's another thing. I think the defense will be better this year because we will be able to yell at the other team.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. But it's just, where do you see them ranking? For me, I have them between 10 and 15 for this NFL
I think
season.
we'll be better than that. I think we'll be a top 10 on the back half of the top 10. That's why I think that we will be probably the class of the NFC East, because we're going to have a very good. It's going to be very similar to like early McNabb, where Jalen's going to really have to largely carry this team on his back, and short, West Coast offense, running ball heavy, win a lot of games, 24-20. Not really any blowouts, but just hard-fought games that we all lose our voice over.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that the same too. I mean, you're going to any more games this year?
Oh yeah, I'm going next week. Next week I'm going over to the preseason game.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to the Patriots one. Yep.
Wow. I mean, how long is that flight?
Oh, I drive. But if I took a flight, it would be like 45 minutes. I mean, it's all
right. I don't know.
Flight, so it's 2.5 hours drive up to Philly.
That's not bad at all.
No.
That's not bad at all. Like, I have to go to New York City for a doctor's appointment, and I'm from Jersey. That's like 3 hours to 4.
Oh, yeah, it's not that far. No, it's not that far.
I mean, yeah, the grind, right? And you get there early, the tailgate, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
There you go. I don't drink, so I'm like, there's no point for me to tailgate. But
thanks you.
Huh?
Your liver thanks you.
Yeah, medically,
and your scale does too.
Yeah. But let's just go back to Deshaun Watson and that whole thing, because I've been hearing like that. When I've been hearing, I mean, Twitter, like what people have been saying on Twitter, is that if Deshaun Watson did not have those allegations, that he would be here right now.
Yes.
And the Eagles don't have trust in Jalen Hurts.
That's true, but we don't live in a world where those allegations don't exist, and it's not like it's one or two allegations. You got a couple dozen there saying that he's got an MO, and this is not. It's not what any football team needs to be starting off the season. You bring him here week 1, you got the thing hanging over his head. How long is he going to be able to play? Even if he's balling out with us, you always wondering how long is he going to be able to play. Will he be locked up soon? Because we don't know. This is a criminal matter in some respects. And so I think that is not how you want, for Nick Sirianni's sake. I think if fate allows that we could get him, say everything gets cleared up, he gets exonerated, everybody finds out this is a bunch of lies, that can happen. We have a justice system in this country that allows people to prove that kind of thing. But as it stands now, I think it's irresponsible for any team to try to bring him in.
Yeah. Now, what I've been hearing from my guy Sonic, if you're watching this, man, I'll send it to you. But he was saying like Deshaun Watson is just another version of Carson Wentz, like the same injury-prone drama and all that stuff.
Oh. No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. In terms of football, he is a generational talent. Deshaun Watson has the every capability.
Sonic, here he is. That's what I said in my video. If we get Deshaun Watson, are we going to be screwed because
that's true.
The hate for us will be that bad?
Yes, even more. That's the truth. And some will say it will be deserved. But in terms of talent, if we're just talking, let's live on Earth 2 where these allegations don't exist. We're talking just football. Deshaun Watson's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league without a question. And so it's unfortunate for everybody involved, including the Eagles. But I don't think we can do that.
Right.
Carson Wentz, on his worst day, Deshaun Watson is Carson Wentz.
Okay. Because I'm just like, what I said before with this whole allegations here, I'm like, if you trade for Deshaun Watson now, right? I'm feeling you don't have to trust in Jalen Hurts. Like, I felt the fact that if you want to get rid of him now, that means what are you doing? Like, you don't have any trust in our quarterback and all that stuff. But then I'm like, it's a 50-50. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here. It's difficult.
I think you don't need to. I don't think that you need to trust Jalen Hurts to be the drama. Okay. I don't think you need to this season to be a all or nothing season where you're gonna try to contend for a Super Bowl, and you need to see what you got in Jalen. If you never roll him out there with the bad team, who's already believing that the season was over, I think you give him a clean slate, you give him a season. This is a competitive team. You build a strong defense around him. Let him carry the team. I do have a channel. It is over on Instagram. It's honorable mention _podcast. You can also find it on Spotify. But we don't talk as much birds, so I'm glad to get a niche to talk about the birds, baby.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about Eli Manning for a bit.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, got to keep him out of the NFL or at the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But what I meant by that is that he'll be stuck with wide receivers that may or may not fall out. I'm not trying to say they won't ball. I'm saying he just won't have elite wide receivers except for Devonta Smith.
Agreed.
I mean, this whole thing started when Adam Schefter tweeted out or said on ESPN that the Eagles are like one of the top teams to get him.
Oh yeah, it's because it's Howie. It's Howie. Howie's gonna give a try. He's gonna find out what the situation was with whoever. But again, it's just not going to happen. I hope it's not going to happen, and
I hope it doesn't happen as well. But I mean, the thing with Howie Roseman, this offseason is his best that he's ever done. You agree?
Yes.
I mean, his job is on the line. It's his contract year right here.
It is.
If they make a big move for Deshaun Watson or something, you got to bang. I mean, it's got to hit, and we're gonna have a good record for him to stay. So
I think the jury's still out on how good this year's offseason is because you got to count that 2017. I mean, they hit on a lot of good 1-year contracts in 2017. Whole bunch of them. If we run through them, those are all instrumental guys that ended at first were thought to be depth guys like Dimitri Patterson, who's now retired. He was a 1-year contract that year. So many guys hit on like Jay Ajayi, who made big plays. Yeah. And I think Alshon Jeffrey was a 2017 acquisition. I think that was the first year we had Alshon. So
yeah. I mean, I still can't believe we got. Didn't he get injured
during the whole year? No.
Okay.
For
some reason I thought he got injured. I don't know. Kind of like the whole Terrell Owens saga again.
Yeah. Not as bad as that. Not as bad. Alshon was all love to you, Alshon. You didn't do what T.O. did.
Yeah.
You're still welcome in Philly any day.
All right. So I just want to talk about Jalen Reagor on those punts. Like, to me, he could have fair caught him at the 10 and just be like, okay, we got him at the 10, we're set. Then they went to 2 and 5. Thank you. That's exactly what I Like, can't do that.
Jalen Reagor, he's got a prove it year. This isn't a contract year for him. This is not a contract year for him, but he's in a position where he might not be on this team long term. If he's another first round pick, they're invested heavily in him, and maybe somebody else. He's got to have a big season. That's all I'm saying. Which team has the potential to win it all? The Tennessee Titans.
I'm going Bills.
Bills.
I'm going Bills because Josh Allen, he's going to go the year he had last year. He's going to go even. They just got Stephon Diggs. That defense got better, I believe. So they're up there. I could definitely see the Bills and Titans in the AFC Championship game.
What about the Chiefs? How are you feeling about the Chiefs?
The Chiefs? Oh my God! See, I forgot about the Chiefs. Oh my God, dude! It's so much competition on the AFC.
It is.
How can I forget about the Chiefs? Bruh. I mean, I still got the Bills winning it. Like, I got the Chiefs up there, but I just want to see a team that has not won a Super Bowl yet. Give me that feeling.
No, the Birds. We already won a Super Bowl, but we need to win it. How about that?
Yeah. I remember the day. Yo, no problem, Earl. Great guy. Love you, man.
Yeah,
but, I remember the day we actually won. I made a reaction video to it, and I was like crying. I was about to cry. I was like, I'm so freaking happy we did it.
Oh, I cried.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Come on. I've been waiting my whole
Did you go to the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't. No, I wish. Those tickets are ridiculous. I mean, I think like $4,000 was like the cheapest ticket. To be
Yeah. When the Eagles were playing the Pacers the first time in Jacksonville,
yeah,
my family went there. So it's my grandparents,
cool.
my uncles, my uncle and my cousin. I couldn't go. I was too young. And I was just watching with my dad. Yeah.
So if you're, wow, that was the night T.O. balled out on a broken leg.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of T.O., I still can't believe it took him that many years to get in the Hall of Fame.
It was political, man, and not politics in terms of Democrat, Republican. It was political in terms of he had made too many people angry in the league, so they tried to keep him out. It was silly.
It really is. He's one of the best wide receivers of all time. He's up there with Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. He's up there.
Carter, yeah.
Calvin Johnson. I can't believe I just said that, but I did.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was. Calvin Johnson was there for a short amount of time. He made the Hall of Fame. Kudos. Yeah. So to end it off, let's just talk about how Jake Elliott, he made his field goals.
Yeah.
He made his field goals beyond the 20-yard line. I was so happy.
Player. My wife's favorite player is Jake Elliott. And
I'm like, dude, about freaking time. I mean, people are saying he's gonna ball out this year. I'm like, I gotta wait and see for a freaking kicker.
I think so. I think Doug Peterson was really hard on a kicker because they can never get into a rhythm. They can never trust that they're really going to be out there on the field because he was going for it on fourth a lot of times, and it was signaling a lot. It's a confidence thing. Once a kicker's confidence goes, I mean, they can be done quickly. And so I think the way that Doug coached the Eagles, it did not lend itself to Jake having a lot of confidence. I think this year he will be the Jake that we came to know and love.
Yeah. My buddy calls him Ray Finkel. From
Ray Finkel.
Laces Out, man. One of my favorite football movies.
Not exactly the most woke movie in retrospect.
Yeah, but it was still good. Since we're on movies, what's one of your favorite football movies?
Football movies. I like The Replacements.
I only saw that like once when I was like really young. I got to see that again.
It's funny. It's a goofy. I like Any Given Sunday. I like Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like. Hold on, I just answered it. Which team will score more in the red zone this year? I have no clue. I can't say.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Earl, can you explain that question, bro? Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But I have to say Invincible, not just because I'm friends with Vince Papali's son, but it's just like, dude, yeah, I grew up with the guy. I had him on here like a month ago. Great kid.
South Philly?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, yeah, so I have to go with Invincible, Waterboy,
Waterboy, that's a good one.
Little Giants. I'm just starting to name like no, that's not a football movie.
What's the one? Silver Linings.
Yep, Silver Linings Playbook. That was it. Yeah. Yo, Coach, what is good, my guy? Thank you for popping in. So I'm really like, Earl, what do you mean by this? I'm like, that's all I can think about at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So let's just go over this. You have the Eagles going 9-8. Oh wait, no, we already talked about that. Let's talk about Jordan Howard real quick. Actually, I was just thinking about this. He started in the first preseason game. Now I know Miles Sanders was not there for injury reasons or whatever. I see him making his roster now just because of that.
I'm shocked. I was shocked. But I'm not against it.
I'm not either.
He's a legitimate back in this league. Folks know who he is. He's a known quantity. He's trustworthy. He doesn't put the ball on the ground. And so you know what you're going to get with Jordan. And I think there's a lot of uncertainty on the roster in terms of maybe a lot of upside with guys, but not knowing what you got. I think that's why Sirianni's comfortable having Jordan. I don't think he's going to be starting. I think that was because of the preseason, but
yeah,
he's going to get some touches. Mm-hmm. And I'm shocked to say that, but
yeah, so am I. I mean, I always talk about this with some buddies. The running back room is packed. I mean, Killen just got cut.
Yeah,
Killen's gone. So I know he's moved to wide receivers, but he started as a running back.
Yeah.
So, which running back do you have being cut? Like for me, I got Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Gainwell, Kerryon Johnson, even though he got injured apparently. That's what I've been told. And I have Boston Scott not making it.
No way that they'd cut Johnson. I think that they
even with the reconstructed contract, they reconstructed his contract a couple months back.
They did. I just don't see a scenario where they don't keep Boston Scott.
Maybe they keep all five. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe they keep all five.
Yeah, they got to keep Scott. Scott's made too many plays here in the city recently.
Yeah,
and he's an electric player. I mean, he's been NFC Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week before. So, I think
he's a giant killer. He's a giant killer.
Giants games. You just keep for 2 games. Keep him for 2 games a year. Bring him up. See, the problem is you don't. He goes to someone else picks him up immediately. He's not going to go to waivers. He's not going to be sitting out on the street in case one of our other backs gets hurt. If we let Boston Scott leave the building, he's gone. Yeah, I believe that he's gone. But what I'd say about Kenny Gainwell is that he's younger, he's faster, and I just see it. Can you imagine the backfield between Miles Sanders and Gainwell? I love it. So do I. So Boston Scott is just left there hanging. But who knows? Yeah, maybe he could be on special teams with Jalen Reagor not being there. I'll do that. Yeah. It's tough, isn't it? Like we're so deep in the running back room. Yeah, I one guy, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he starts making plays when the season gets here. I think the Jannard Avery would be somebody who I would let go in order to keep one of these guys that we're talking about. Jannard Avery, okay. I'd let him go. I mean, he's physical specimen. I mean, amazing. But I just don't know if what he does is something that's going to be heavy for this team, that outside linebacker rushing outside linebacker job, I think we could use an extra running back instead of that. Instead of like kind of what he would be doing is kind of a gadget or a gimmick kind of thing.
Yeah. So, Earl, which team can score the most points in a red zone, gain a victory? There's so many teams out there. I have to go with the Titans here because of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to be unguardable. You're really not going to be able to really keep them under 20 at all this year. So good luck to everybody's got to play them, not us.
Oh my God. I'm just like so happy we don't.
Unless we play in the Super Bowl, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll win. But yeah. So I think we're coming in on the hour mark. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, dude. Absolutely. It was a real pleasure to talk up some birds with people. And hopefully I'll have you on again.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. So, yeah, guys, this is it. Second live stream is coming to a close. My mouth is getting tired from talking. My throat's hurting. So, I think I gotta sit down and relax, watch YouTube or whatever. So, let me know or let the people know where they can find you on Twitter, Instagram.
On Twitter, you can find me personally at Politidope, Politidope. Same thing over on Instagram, Politidope. Also, my show is Honorable Mention. You can find me over on Spotify. You can also find me on YouTube, Honorable Mention.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. Definitely. DM me the link.
All
right. Yo, thank you guys for coming. I'm doing a live stream in the Sixers game again tomorrow. Hopefully they win. But who the hell knows? It's Summer League. No Tyrese Maxey. But yeah, guys, thank you for coming. Subscribe, hit the like button, do all that good stuff. We're out. See you guys.